Hello there, journaling loves. My name is Marissa Moses, and this is my project Pages and Process. In this practice of mine, it began when I entered into Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, where she asks you to wake up in the morning and within your first 45 minutes do a stream of consciousness, sort of emptying of the mind. For 3 pages every single morning. She also accompanies that practice with weekly artist dates and a lot of other beautiful, wonderful exercises within her book. If you haven't dove into it yet, I highly encourage you to take a look into her work. She has a lot of other offerings as well. That said, I've been doing this for a long time now, maybe over 8 years or so, and in the process, I've developed and uncovered and sort of cultivated variances upon Julia Cameron's work in a way that feels more my own, and is different in some ways from her invited practice to morning pages, where I found for me my journaling practice and my connection to that process felt like it wanted to ebb and flow and ride with the tides of the day a little bit based on where my body was. And as a performing artist, a dancer, as well as a certified body worker, I felt the need to listen to my body in relationship to whether or not writing in the morning was the best option, or whether writing some other time of the day was a better option, or whether sometimes I needed to keep a stillness and not expend my energy into the written word for a period of time. And so attuning to my own sense of somatics has helped with that, and learning how to cultivate a sense of a stream of consciousness, writing from a place of being very aware of what my body is or isn't doing, how it does or doesn't feel. And I've found that for me, it has become very spiritually satisfying, and coupled especially with a lot of the research and development I've been doing for my own personal healing, as well as working with my students as a performing arts instructor, to sort of heal through creative woundings or attachment wounds that we might have from early childhood or from our creative careers or our romantic relationships, that there's a lot of interplay with how we're relating with one another, just as there is with how we're relating to inner parts of ourselves, such as exist in inner parts therapy work. So Pages and Process for me is a place where I can integrate and process and practice in a way that I don't have to be quite so rigid about my formulas of there's A and then B and then C, and then I deliver that very digestibly. So I'm sort of expressing a wide variety of different types of things I think you might find valuable before deciding whether or not to enter into this space as a patron with me, if you're watching this on Patreon, or into practice with me if you are watching this in some other forum, as an invitation to the potential of what happens if we connect to our writing, to our voice, to our bodies, let that freely flow and express, and allow that to be our sort of grounding and stability in our creative process. If we can find our sense of willingness, wantingness to show up in relationship with the blank page, how does that also translate and transfer to the areas in our lives where we're maybe entering new spaces or projects, or if you happen to be a performing artist as well, the blank space, the empty canvas, the clear stage, the moment before you actively show up into a rehearsal or onto set, allowing there to be this emptiness, I think is really quite lovely. So for me, Pages and Process is really about being with the emptiness of ourselves, being with the emptiness of the blank page, and allowing a stream of flow, a stream of expression, from a place of connection, attunement, and open-hearted, considerate care in our process, to willingly witness ourselves in whatever way we're showing up. Whether that is very expansive or very contracted or very high or very low in our either grief or need to rest and recover, that we have these cycles and phases, which I also do love exploring with the cycles of nature in my own personal practice. And perhaps it will come out here, since this is also in part me sharing my personal practice, of how nature's cycles really can support us when we allow it to be sort of a co-regulation and a nourishment for our lives, and the way we attune to a natural sense of ebb and flow, light and dark, rising and descending. So if this sort of practice is of interest to you, in my Patreon, I offer weekly writing sessions where we connect with one another and somatically attune. I guide us through a little bit of an entrance and an exit, and we write for 3 pages. And I invite you into sharing your experience, if that feels good to you, in the comments, in a little more insular and closed space. If you are seeing this on social media, know that I also intermittently, time to time, do share some of my pages, whether that's through memes or whether that's through reading. And I invite you to connect with whatever it is that comes out of my creative experience and process. If you resonate with it, I would love to hear from you. If you feel inspired to do something along the same lines with yours, or you already have a practice that is similar and you'd like to have me either my eyes on it or an uplift in my stories online, in my Instagram, I would so love to be able to bear witness for you or be of support to you by invitation. So if any of this sounds good to you, I would love to cultivate and craft an intentional connection with community, and it would feel so good to have you be a part of that community with me. So with that, I hope to see you inside of my Patreon community, and I look forward to connecting with you, hopefully on social media, and engaging with each other's content as well there. Wishing you all the best, and it feels so good to be able to extend this invitation to you. I do hope you'll join me. Take care.